Did he say that he had problems with the Russians and all that?
Yeah, I think so.
Because there's one guy on there that was lying, I'll tell you that much. Put your motor.
Oh, here we go. Right, I'll just leave this to get live again. I'm with my good friend Nikki.
Hi.
And here we are in Soho. Right, let's just get the numbers up again. We've had an out-and-out nightmare at the moment. We've had a terrible nightmare. They basically, I don't know what's happened. I could not get on the internet. Now, right, we got the sun, we got brilliant sun. Right, hello everyone, John Wedger here. And for those who don't know me, I'm a former vice cop from the Met Police, and with me is my old mate, Nikki. How are you, Nikki? Now, I'll let Nikki introduce herself. Nikki is known, well, would have been known to my old unit as a KCP, which is a known common prostitute. Now, that isn't entirely accurate, and Nikki will explain. Nikki was on the street on the other side of the fence during the 2000s when I was here, and Nikki's got convictions for loitering. And how many have you actually got?
473.
473 convictions for loitering. Now, that's quite a lot. And loitering is when a prostitute loiters in a public area for the purpose of prostitution. Now, I work many areas around London where they actually were girls that were on the street that were picking up punters. Here, you were more known as what's called a clipper. A clipper. Now, what is a clipper, Nick?
Well, it basically you pretend that you have girls and you kind of, how can I put it? I don't know how to put it.
Well, there were a lot of places what they call clip joints, weren't there?
Yeah. Basically, you promise something and they don't get it.
Yeah, so people would think that you're a prostitute.
Yeah.
And they'd approach you either for yourself or for other girls.
Yeah, or they thought I was a madame who was running girls, basically.
Yeah. And so the common punter, what would they basically ask for?
A lot of the times they was just wanted normal, but quite back in the day, more so, you get guys, they come down and say how young was the girl. We used to say 17, and you automatically knew whether they were paedophiles or not, because like they'd ask for the youngest Thai girl, and Thai girls are very petite, look very petite, and so you knew they didn't basically walk up to you and say like I want a young girl, because there was more. But then when the internet come, they started getting less and less and less because it was easier for them on the internet. But you used to see like they'd start shaking, switching at the thought.
Well, the bottle's going.
At the thought of what was upstairs. Although I will say I was never comfortable with even saying that we had young girls. I've never been comfortable with that. A lot of the other girls I work with were quite happy to rip these people off, which I understand.
What prices would they be charged? Or?
40 for half hour, 60 for the hour.
But sometimes big money could be obtained.
And then we ask for a deposit on the girl's safety, which is where we earn our money.
Right.
And the deposits used to go from, depending on what we thought, whether he had money or not, 280, sometimes up to 680. If they did want a younger girl, we'd always come back for the bigger deposit. And 9 times out of 10, we'd get it because they're just so excited.
But they'd go into a venue, you'd send them into a venue, and of course there'd be nothing there.
There'd be nothing there.
But if we just, we're by Walker's Court, we're going to walk down here, the infamous Walker's Court, but just behind us, if we just walk over to here, so just go over here, we're right in the heart of, now, I was down here the other day, this door here, right?
Yeah, that used to be a model.
There's model, above you've got massage up there. I was actually, went in there the other day, just on on one of my fact-finding missions, and it did have models. So you direct them sort of building a bit like this.
Yeah. Or we send them up to the Mount Royal Hotel to a meeting point say that someone was coming up there to meet them.
Right. So if we spin round now again, Nick, we've just got away. Now your story in itself is that you've come from the care system.
Yeah. Although I will say, for me, I never suffered any abuse in the care system. For the simple reason I was only in voluntary care.
Yeah.
But I ended up in homes with secure units.
And you was in a home called Melanie Klein
House, yes, for 2.5 years.
Which was well known for abuse going on it, and it has come out in inquiries,
Yeah, and that was actually a shock to me.
Yeah.
And like, obviously, I've got in touch with a couple of the other girls now to say, why didn't you say anything?
Yep.
And their reaction was, would you have believed us? And I,
no.
Because all that it went in secure units. Because I was only in voluntary care, they couldn't put me in secure unit without notifying my parents.
Right.
Everything that went on always went on in the secure units.
But you're a strong individual.
Very strong.
And, you know, and that's one thing with you. You're quite an unbreakable character. You know, and really also that's the reason why you're here as well. You know, because
I just want to help.
Back in the day, you know, this situation would never have occurred. You know?
Not me walking around Soho with a police officer
and it's
filming.
really funny. You want to see this lady's radar. We turned up here, and when we come here, there was a lady here who's going to meet up with us in a minute. Oh, we're caught up. Her name's Kaz. She's from Glasgow. She is on the street. She is a heroin addict, and she's more typical of what you'd expect a street girl. Her teeth are gone, and she instantly recognised Nikki, and then some guys come up to me and goes, I think you're old Bill. And then Kaz has recognised me from here as well. She said, I remember you from the street. So it shows now, right, this area, can we just explain what this was like back in the day, how this has changed? Because this was just, it was full of sex shops, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was a cinema, the Astral Cinema. Here you used to have the cinema, the Raymond Review.
Yeah, which is here. And there used to be sometimes something up there, didn't there?
Yeah.
You know? And a lot of them used to have like what they call near beer bars, weren't they? Drinkers, yeah.
Yeah. A lot went on in drinkers.
Where people would get scammed, and I think John Lawson and his thing with Sean Upward, he goes, but it's changed now. This is more of a gay scene here now, isn't it? You know?
Totally, and residential.
But there was a big drug scene here years ago. Yeah. You know, and yourself, you got caught up in it.
Yeah, I was on quite, like most of the girls out here, they, you know, ghost girls on the road have gone through either drug addiction, come through it, or still in it.
Yeah.
I'm an ex-crackhead, clean 27 years.
Aww. And it was Nick's birthday yesterday. So I'm going to give it a bump in a minute. Old bird now, you know. And but there was a lot of girls on the street here.
Oh yeah.
And some of them were young girls, you know.
Yeah. But the thing with my friends, none of them, as far as I know, was in. And if we used to see a young girl, we'd be like, "What are you doing here?" You know. So it was never put in front of us, if you know what I mean. Because we would, especially me, I'm known as having a very big mouth. Say what I think, and if I think something's wrong, I say it, and it doesn't matter who, what. So they, you know, and also as well, we didn't want the competition either. So it's like, who brought you down here? But yeah, every now and then you see a girl come out fresh-faced. You see her a month later, and she'd be fucked.
She'd be gone. Yeah, the street's gone. Now I want to make it clear that there is a difference. That further up the road in Paddington, Sussex Gardens, this is where little Zoe and the others, they were on the street as little girls. They were being hidden. Here was different because there's no curb crawling here, because as you can see, this is a very narrow road, incredibly well policed. There was a lot of undercover officers on the street here.
Yeah.
You know an old mate of mine, don't you, Christian, that was on here. You know, there was a lot of drug dealing here, so you didn't get like the prostitution scene. There was a promise of prostitution, but your little gang were the Clippers.
Yeah, and also
it
was a very small area. It's always been in this area here. So if there was a young girl, the police would see it on the CCTV. And also the girl, like I said, no, just because we're out here, it doesn't mean to say that we're down with that kind of thing, you know.
But these streets were dangerous as well.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
You know, because of the drug dealing that went on and all that. But
it also was quite a community back in the day as well, and you know, it's got its bad points, but it also has got its good points. Used to have a market along here. Everyone knew everyone. And there was a sense of community. I mean, that's completely gone.
But there's a few of the things that I want to talk about. There were some girls that were working, and you're going to take us down to where
the MCP car park was like.
And if we walk down to Great Windmill Street, the other thing I want to talk about, because my focus is on like the corruption within the police. Now, you know, we sort of there are names, but we're not going to go through them as yet. If at some point the IOPC want to get in touch with me, I can supply them names. But West End Central was a local police station. And we were talking about the other day about a certain ranked officer, high ranked officer, that was very inspector, and he was very much involved in the corruption of what went on here.
He was at one point the heart of it, if you know what I mean. You know, like the everyone thought he was great because he was corrupt, but when you look back now, he's like.
Well, would he do you favours?
He would do literally anything. He had no morals. He was definitely a very immoral man.
But he was actually offering you money to
go and we actually got asked to go and find runaways at Euston, Victoria.
Right, so
£500 a time, and back in the day that was a hell of a lot of money.
Right, let's talk about this. So we're going back to you've been on these streets since you was a teenage girl, teenage girl. 15 years old. And Nikki was well known on these streets. Nearly 500 convictions for loitering. Again, I'm not going to, but we're just saying how long Nikki's been on there. And there was an inspector who would have been very well known and quite a rank for this sort of area. And he was asking.
It was down here.
Right, we're going to cross over now. Brewer Street. We're going to go down into Great Windmill, and I've got a little story about this street as well.
And there was an NCP car park
right.
just down there, and that's what I was trying to tell you.
Did you ever know the guy, the Maltese guy that used to run
Maltese
the the coffee shop?
Yeah.
He used to always try and get the police in there and give us free drinks. I think it was either the Corner Cast or that Billy Bro, one of them he owned. Johnny, his name was.
Well, we knew him as Maltese Frank.
Maltese, skinny guy.
Maltese Frank.
Yeah. Now this inspector was offering. He was very much involved with the organised crime in this area, and he was offering Nikki and the other girls 500 quid a time to get young runaway kids.
Was up here.
Right.
Got a school there as well.
Right, so we've got a pool hall that's up there. Well, let's go down to the NCP. So,
well, no, the NCP was there. Oh, right, okay. This is the alleyway. This goes through. A lot went on in this alleyway.
Right, let's go down this alleyway.
It's all done brand new.
We're walking down. This used to stink of urine, didn't it, back in the day? And so girls could bring punters down here, and they could discreetly have it off, as it were. Yeah. And they said, how much would they be charging back then?
Some of them used to do it for a tenner.
Tenner, yeah, that's why a tenner. You know?
It's just.
And the sort of clients, what would they rate? Were they typical, or were they a mix of everything?
The sort of clients we go for.
I know,
it still does.
Yeah.
The sort of clients we went for. They weren't down and out sort of people.
Yeah.
And I will say, the ones who used to ask for young girls, sometimes it would shock us.
Right. Okay, so this now,
it
look,
still smells of piss though.
It does, it absolutely stinks.
It reeks.
And bear in mind we're in the heart of lockdown and there's no pubs open, it absolutely stinks. You can imagine what it was like back in the 90s when everyone's on the lash.
Yeah, and everyone used to come around here.
So this is out the way, so this would be a smoking area, crack smoking area. And then also there'd be coming down here for sex. But this inspector is important because this guy was asking Nikki and the other girls to get hold of young runaway kids for him, right?
And we didn't even ask why.
No, you knew why, you know.
Yeah, I suppose so, but I never took them up on that offer.
But how disgusting. You see, he wasn't doing this for police purposes because that's not how it works.
He used to sniff cocaine with the girls up in the pool hall and that.
So we're going to go by the pool hall and we're going to look at, where this inspector, and this inspector would have been in charge of probably a minimum of 5 sergeants and maybe as many as 50 up to 100 officers. And then there would have been covert jobs going on down here. How dangerous is that this inspector? Now, if we look at the history of the Vice Unit, when you look at books like Playland, when they were saying that there was an inspector that was involved there, a superintendent, and bear in mind it was Detective Chief Superintendent who threatened and silenced me for exposing what was going on these streets. So this is how deep, and bear in mind everyone who's watching this, we're up to 400 hits, which is a phenomenal amount of live hits. And bear in mind, you're paying your taxes. You're paying your taxes for these vile people, and it's still going. Okay, the scene ain't going on as much as it was, but these people are still there.
It's moved underground, that's all.
Yeah, and if we look at like the Rains list, and Nikki knows about the Rains list as well, you know, the bloke, middle management, I think Detective Chief Inspector on the Vice Unit, back in them days, is on the Rains list. So he's on this list, right? This inspector, he's on there, you can find him on there, a DCI, right, that was running everything from Vice, because Vice was a tier above the local West End Central Police in respect to their investigations, and he is on the list of satanic abusers. He's been named by more than 2 people on more than one occasions attending rituals. Now, we see from testimonies of Jeanette and various others, that children were killed. So runaway kids, no one's looking for them. Was this inspector involved in procuring them? We don't know. We can't make them allegations. But I'm going to be supplying this guy's name to the IOPCC after this, and hopefully we'll see where we go from there. But and for Nikki to come on board and do this, I'm telling you what, I can't thank you enough for this.
I want to thank you for giving me this chance, because it's always been something that bothers me, child abuse.
Yep.
The satanic stuff I had absolutely no idea about. And I've been on the streets for 35 years. Not once did I ever hear anything about Satanism, which in itself is very scary, because how prevalent it actually really is. Yeah.
And it weren't your world.
No.
And I didn't either. I didn't either. So it was only really since I've left and it's coming out, but it explains so much of why. Yeah. You know, who, what, where, why. Right, so let's walk up by the pool hall. And there was a guy having a wee there, look. He's going to be live on the internet having a wee in a minute. He's going to be a hit. He's going to be a hit, so that's why. He finished just the right time, mate. Everything else.
Oh yeah. God, it absolutely stinks.
It's violent. But I mean, they've gentrified this area and it's changed so much. Yeah. God, that stinks as well. God, I don't know what he's been drinking.
Oh, God, he needs some cranberry
juice. I think he's been drinking ammonia.
Fucking hell, that stinks.
Oh dear.
That's what I thought about Soho Radio.
Oh right.
It's shut down now.
Right,
it was the CP car park here, which is now hotels.
Yep.
But a lot of stuff went on in the car parks.
Yeah. Can you give us an example of what was going on?
Well, you had in one corner people smoking crack, in another corner a bird giving a punter a blowjob.
Down here?
Yeah.
I just walked down here. I mean, it's like that Tony Christie song, Avenues and Alleyways, isn't it? All going on down there. So the pool hall's back there, is it?
Yeah, in Windmill Street, just about near enough above the school, the Soho Parish School.
So can we talk about what went on in the pool hall?
Well, yeah, really. It was just, there was quite a few police used to come in now.
Yeah.
But that inspector, I've said his name now, but that inspector, he was literally, there she is, he was literally like...
Here's our lady.
Right,
look, here we're going live. Do you want to say hello? There's our mate Kaz. There's our mate. She recognised me, and of course she knew Nikki. But
I will say as well, there's a block of flats down here. I'm not sure because I never actually saw anything.
Yeah.
But there was a block that they've now knocked down, and that was meant to do like underage and that, but we never saw it.
Right.
And that was hearsay. I can't think it, but normally the hearsay's right. People.
Well, of course, there's always substance behind it.
But they've completely.
I'll tell you what we do now. We'll walk round this block here. I want to go now to what used to be termed the meat rack.
Oh yeah, the Wimpy.
Right. So the meat rack. I mean, Michael Tarragona in his story goes on about the meat rack, and this was where the young boys now. When you was down there, you're talking sort of mid-80s.
Yeah, you get to know.
These boys were on the street round here then, weren't they?
Yeah, a friend of mine who's called Joey Monteith, he's now dead.
Joey Monteith, so R.I.P. Joey Monteith.
Yeah. He was the one who really kind of showed me about the meat rack.
Yeah.
That was when I first heard the term chickens.
Chickens, yeah.
Yeah, but I do know that Joey did go and had recruited young runaways as well.
But that's part of the life, isn't it?
Well, when you got to eat, you got to eat, and when things are when these people are in it, they don't really. It's hard to explain because you don't actually see it for what it is. You just. Well, the thing is, Nikki, some of them say, look, I've been abused in care, I might as well make money out of it. Yeah.
And the other thing is, there's this negative connotation of pimps, but some of the boys who spoke to me, they said the pimps actually saved their lives.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, I've not really met any decent pimps in my time, to be quite honest with you.
So no big up for the pimps.
No.
It's not a career choice, boys.
No,
don't go into
they're not protectors.
No. Right, so we're going down now. This is
where the Wimpy.
Right, the Wimpy, which is now a Boots.
Literally here.
It's where the Boots was, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we go outside there. We're outside the front of Boots. So the Boots think we're doing a promotional video for them. We're actually... Oh, that's really there.
Yeah.
Right, come on.
Probably for all the dead souls.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, the souls of all the poor people that have succumbed to these streets. So what we got here, if we stand in front of the Wimpy,
The Eros statue.
Now the Eros, which is over there. Now Eros is actually the god of love and sex, which is how ironic is that? So
The sex part I get, I don't think the love part.
Right, you're off to make your money. Oh, she's going to get a bit of meth now, bless her. She's been on the street so many years, you know, and this is, you can see, and I'm not saying this denigrating, you can see the condition. She's the same age as Nikki and myself, we're both the same age. And Kaz is the same age, she looks twice her age, and that's what happens. Her teeth are gone and she's skin and bones. But we've got a big open front building here. Now this used to be the Wimpy Bar. Now, Michael Tarrager in his book says they were paraded in the front. What do you remember?
No, I don't remember them being paraded up in the window, but you used to have the upstairs.
Right, they're the upstairs,
everyone used to chill upstairs, so that's where it used to come from. I'd never see anybody standing in the windows.
Right, okay, but he's going back to the 60s.
Yeah, it might have been completely different then, I don't know.
So what would happen? The boys were up there and...
You just get the punters that come in.
Right.
Literally just come in, but they knew they're punters, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It was just like we'd be sitting there eating a thingy or drinking a drink. Joey would be like, "Oh, I've got to go," and he'd be back within half hour, if it was a good thing. But he got found down Rupert Street, Blue Posts, round the back.
Oh, the pub, Blue Posts.
Yeah, he was buggered to death.
He was buggered to death.
Yeah, literally.
Seriously,
he had so many internal injuries.
Oh my God. How old was he?
Well, when he died, he was 17, but when he first started, he was 14.
I didn't realise he was that age.
Yeah, he was 14.
So we're talking a 14-year-old boy. Was he a runaway?
Yeah.
Runaway boy, and that was his life. His life was in the upstairs of here, being picked up. Was he a crackhead and a smackhead, or?
No.
All right.
No, he'd been abused from really early age, and I think he wasn't actually addicted to drugs, as far as I know. I never see him taking any drugs.
Right. So the other place that gets mentioned is Playland. Do you remember Playland?
No.
Yeah.
Sega World.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Is that what they call it? Playland.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, not that round here. Just to the left.
The one in the Trocadero.
No. There's one round here. There used to be an arcade, just round to the left up Shaftesbury Avenue.
Arcade. Yeah, that was a Trocadero. You went into Trocadero?
No, it wasn't a Troc, because that's right in the centre. Yeah. We'll walk round up there.
Yeah, I don't know about...
So, what else was going on then, Nick, that you recall that really sort of stuck in your mind about that life?
It's hard, because it's 35 years of memories.
Yeah.
Joey's always been on my mind, always.
And in respect to what the police were doing, was it actually working? Did it make any difference?
No, because the JPU unit used to be up the bloody pool.
That's what I was on.
They was up the pool hall.
Oh, right.
Yeah, right. So that's what...
Right, I was on the JPU.
Yeah, the JPU unit, Juvenile Protection Unit.
Yeah,
they're a joke.
The Sodge street offences, juvenile... Right, so what year are we talking about?
I first come in contact with them when I was 16.
So we're talking about 1985. We just walked up Shaftesbury.
84 was when I first started down. I know that from my
84,
CRO number.
Now, so this is a unit whose DCI is on the range list, and when they were meant to be patrolling these streets,
they were snorting cocaine with the girls up in the pool hall with the inspector.
What? Right. Here we go. Here's the meat on the bones here, everyone. So we're talking about the local inspector was meeting up with the vice unit group that were meant to come out here, dedicated night duties. There's always night duty, and they were coming up here, and instead of being on the streets, they were in the pool hall
snorting cocaine.
Great Windmill Street, snorting cocaine.
And that was without exception. Every single police officer that went to that pool hall was snorting cocaine.
They was all on the Charlie.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
Right, let's just do a quick diagonal across the road here. Take the ball by the horn. Sorry, chaps. Press. So we're going to go back up to the pool hall now. So these streets back then were really awash with the runaways. There were a lot more than when I was on the street, and this was the hub of it, because this is central London. You get what you want, anything you want is here. So the unit that was being paid by the public to protect the children, drag the runaways off, weren't. They were actually in this road here, Great Windmill Street, right in the heart of the red light area. upstairs in the pool hall,
It's above the clip joints.
sniffing coke above a clip joint, so above like a little brothel,
But
as
they
it
were
were.
very blatant as well. It's
Yeah.
like that, but I think they knew no one would listen to us anyway. No one gave a shit what we said. So
Would it be the same lot that would end up bringing you in for loitering?
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So because that's what their job was. So how many times in a week would you get dragged in?
Oh, because we used to be up here. It was like a community. I will say it did have its upsides.
Yeah.
And it was a kind of community, so I spent most of my time up here. Sometimes I get nicked twice a day.
Twice, yeah, because some of the girls would get nicked twice a day.
Because I've got a very big mouth as well,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
would always tell them what I thought of them.
So they never give you a squeeze? They
No,
just thought,
definitely
cheating
not.
coming,
No.
You know, the only other thing I found, Nikki, was that some of the girls that were a right nuisance, they left them alone, and the
Yeah.
you know, the street offences team would pick the pretty girls because they enjoyed their company a lot more.
I don't know if they enjoyed my company, because I've always been known as I've always said what I think, but yeah, they used to be, it's mad because there used to be two clubs, sex clubs, either side of the school.
Right.
And then you had the pool hall upstairs.
Right. So we got the pool hall, which has changed so much, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so we got the vice cops who were in there. See, it's like something out of that film Serpico.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, you want to watch it? I met him. We've dragged the police attention since we've been doing
Oh
this.
yes, we have. Like I said, I'm very well known.
Yeah.
And my views are very well known.
Well, my internet connection was cut, and then
I bet you so. I ain't seen so many police.
and then we ended up with about 10 coppers round us a minute ago. Can we talk about?
Which shows we're not worried.
Can we talk about who was sort of running the scene? Because, you know, we get a thing about the Muslim grooming gangs, but there was a lot of Maltese back in the day, wasn't there?
Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't like sex trafficking isn't racist in any way.
No.
It's like, and in my experience of people asking for young kids, they were white, and that's the truth, you know.
Yeah. Right, so the main one that wanted them were white blokes.
Yeah, suited, booted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite well spoken.
Yeah, very well spoken. Bankers, a lot of them.
Yeah, and this is something that if you read the book Playland and the independent inquiry into child sexual abuse that they go on about a lot, you know, these were wealthy people, because we're a stone's throw away from Mayfair and also from St James's, where there is a lot of wealthy people living there. And you know, one of the cops around here told me, he said a lot of the rent boys, if you want to find them, go down to St James's, you'll always see them going into posh flats up and down there. So it's but it, you know, this is a little gem, because I don't think you will ever get such street knowledge as you get in here. And what we're seeing really is how this has failed. Now, you know, if we was to go back to them days and really put it right, you know, if you was put in charge, or even if the police were to liaise with you, what would you have done that they weren't doing, Nick?
Protected youngsters, I suppose. I don't know. It's hard to know. I mean, I would have done. They teach you what not to do. Do you know what I mean? Because whatever they've done, it ain't worked.
No.
Even though it's gone more underground, because it's more unacceptable now to be so blatant.
And a lot, because we had a meeting the other day, me, Nikki, myself, and another girl, and one of the things that is consistent with a lot of the runaways was the care system.
Yeah.
You know, so many came from the care system.
Near enough everyone did.
Yeah. So what the hell's going on, you know? And we're seeing...
They're just hired for abusers, really.
Yeah.
Like, because most paedophiles haven't got a criminal record. Yeah?
No, they haven't. That's exactly right.
So you can go from, like, and then have 2 weeks training, and then you can go and work in a kids' home. With a lot of damage.
But it's got even worse now, because under these new COVID laws, that they're not even bothering doing checks for this poor chap's in trouble.
Oh, he's always he pisses and shits himself. Bless him.
Does he? Oh, right. Well, we'll give him a wide berth. But you know, how many of the people that you're on the street with are still about, of your age?
Hardly any.
No.
Hardly any. Literally hardly any. I've seen so many girls down here. They die, and in unusual circumstances as well.
Right.
My friend Maxine Cox. She was linked with the inspector that we're talking about, and Debbie Daniels, and both of them overdoses.
Really?
Yeah, and I think when you're a heroin addict, it's so easy for them to knock you off.
Kill you. And if you think of the information that they had, You know, what did they know?
Debbie Daniels, she had a baby for somebody, and that same inspector had arranged that, had put her in contact with it. I can't remember exactly what it is.
What, to flog the baby or something?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. Like,
how do you know, when you see what I went through, and this isn't about me, I don't want that, you know, what they did to me and all that. Yeah, this guy, how did he get away with it?
I do think he did get
nicked for something, didn't he?
Yeah, there was something.
Yeah,
I can't remember exactly what it was, but he went, and then there was another one in his place, you know. And in all honesty, I know there are some good police officers, and there have been a couple down here, but they don't last long.
No,
to be quite honest with you, they don't last very long.
They don't. You know, and see, you know what I'm doing now, this crusade, this mission I'm on. Everyone I work with has sort of fallen foul of the criminal justice system. I mean, my best mate Billy Maloney, you know Billy, and you know, and all that. They've all been in trouble, but you know, it's strange, this connection we've all got, that we just want the truth. You know, especially with your life and my life. You know, something has brought me and you together on what we're doing, because it's the right thing to do, Nick, isn't it? It's the right thing to do. So if there are people out there that know people, what would you encourage them to do?
Get in contact with you, to be quite honest with you, because I know you're a good person, really good person. You're not one of these people that's campaigning, but
no.
You are genuinely a good person.
This isn't for entertainment. This is for education.
I know that.
This is for education.
For me to agree to do this with you, I know that I wouldn't, you know.
And look, it's the day after Nick's birthday, and she was very nervous about doing it. Not that you could ever imagine this lady being nervous, you know. And I am so grateful. I really am so grateful. And there has been frustration. Last week there was a problem. We spent nearly half an hour trying to get internet access, then the police were on us.
Well, we're worrying somebody, and that's a good thing as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, if we're upsetting the perverts, the pedos, then a good thing. So, you know, we're going to be back on the street. Hopefully people will request, you know, that me and Nick get together again. If there's anything, there's my Uncle Pete there, if there's anything that you want me to discuss with Nikki, anyone who wants to come forward, please get in touch with me via the website. Look, well done, Nikki. You know, all the support is coming in for you, Nikki. And
wow.
I just want to say thank you so much.
I'd just like to say to any girls that do know me, because I'm very, very well known, we are approachable and we're ready to listen.
Yeah.
And this guy will help you. That's all I have to say. He will help you. So anyone that knows me, or any of the girls, past and present, like seriously, we're here.
It's like Friends Reunite. We're going to go have half a lager now, or a bottle of light ale, as Bill would say. But Nick, thank you so much.
That's all right.
Thank you so much. You're welcome. I'm really, really made up about this, and God bless everyone.